Hey, everybody, listen. I'm trying to fix my light here. I don't know. I think that's better. Happy Monday. Okay, everybody. You know what Monday is over here. Monday is Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I'm going to tell y'all this. I will say this. They're giving us a show. They're giving us a show. They're giving us a show because every show is not rah, 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 rah. We're actually getting to see some things actually go on. And honey, the Fletchers, let me tell you about the Fletchers. Okay, Nell ain't playing. She here to get this own check. Yes, she is. She is not playing, okay? Nell is in. Yeah, the season is good. This season is really good. And like I said, Nell is really a good addition. I see somebody trying to get backstage, but you know the platform is jam packed, okay? There's not a seat left on the train. And listen, guys, just in case, because I was reckless the other day, just in case, buckle your seatbelts, okay? Because I will not be responsible for anything that goes down. Listen, don't cheat the diva. Hit the like button, and we got things to talk about. You know, we had to get back into Tiffany's, I'm going to call it a sip and see, where you wanted us to meet Baby Ace, okay? We met Baby Ace, and honey, they still talking about this Black Expo, the $100, and I'm over it. But guess who else is over it? Tisha. She don't want no feedback. She had enough. She's like, leave me alone. That's right. Choo choo. Okay. We're going to talk about it. You know, Kimmi and Maurice. How many brothers do they have? What's that brother named Makai? Okay. He the overseer, the project manager of this building that they constructing, and he's behind. He late. He late. The project was supposed to be finished, and it's not finished yet. Okay, so we meet another Scott brother. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like the Scotts are trying to take over Love and Marriage Huntsville. But what they need to understand, and this has nothing to do with who I like or don't like or whatever the case may be, what they need to understand, I personally don't think that show is going to go on and do much without Melanie Cherie on the show. But I'm just saying, y'all can talk to me about it, okay? So Mel and Nell, okay? Mel goes over to the daycare and talk to Nell. Nell is messy. Ooh. Nell is messy. And she low-key messy. And you kind of don't know if you should be coming back at her because she older. Okay, Mel probably, I don't know, maybe she my age back in, but she getting away with some mess because she older than the other girls for the most part, right? So Nell is messy. And then we had Keke and her husband Ameen. Ooh, child. Listen, the men on this show, they piece of work, okay? Ameen was something. He was like, no. This is what you need to do. This was going down. And he was cooking his fried chicken, his mac and cheese. He said he got some beans, but he gonna let them beans, do what they do in the crock pot overnight. He was over there cooking a whole good old meal for the family, okay? And telling his wife, Keke, pretty much, get yourself together, okay? Yeah, he a lot. But you know what? He's a lot. But I will say this respectfully. Anybody that has to deal with someone that has substance abuse issues, they went through a lot. Now, I don't know his history. I don't know if he used to dib and dab. I don't know. But I do know if he did not, and you're dealing with someone who did, yeah, it can be a lot. Okay, so we're going to talk about it. Then we end up with Mel and Marsau. Marsau was so disrespectful. I don't even know what I can't even. Yeah. Come on now, Janet. Nell is old school messy. I like her too, but you said it right there. She old school messy. She messy with a smile and try to act like she just being inquisitive. She's like, well, what about that $100? No, if you tell me, let's talk about it. Somebody brought it up. Let's talk about this $100. Okay, she old school messy. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna talk about it. And Marsau, he's just messy. I think he's taking things as a big fat joke now to be so disrespectful to the ladies and their business and how they're business savvy. And honey, did you catch it when Mel and Nell was in the daycare. Yeah, they accused. It was some low key accusations about you making this a female business on paper, but really you own it. But you making it a female business on paper so that you could get all these government contracts and all of that. Whoa. Okay. Not trying to cheat the government. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm not going to jail, federal prison, none of that. No. And don't be around me doing nothing, because I don't care about this. Snitches get stitches. I'm snitching. They ain't gonna be clinking me up over you. No, they not. No, I'm not doing it. Listen, and I love y'all. Somebody trying to get on the train. The train is packed. There's not a seat left. And I need a what? Okay. I need a what? A choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Monday night on the Diva train. And we about to load this train up so we could do a recap of what? Love and Marriage Huntsville. All right now. You on mute.
Listen, I love me some Miss Nell, honey. She is messy and all of it. Look, Miss Nell said, we're going to talk. Y'all keep bringing it up. Let's talk about it.
She said, let's talk about it. Gather the folk, okay? Have a town hall and everything. She said, we're going to talk about it. Hey, in my opinion, Dadon, E, Shane, Robin, AC Style, Dustin. The train is loaded, people.
Hello, everybody.
The train is loaded. Hey, Dustin. Hey, everybody. So, you know what? Right now, we're going to go ahead and get right into this. Let's go ahead and stick at this little sip and see. Hey, Dustin. If I had to rate it from a 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it well, Baby Ace was there. Let's give Baby Ace like 3 points off the back. Okay, we're gonna start out at 3 because he's so cute. And Baby Ace was there. So with that being said, y'all saying it. I can't even think right now. We give him a 3. Man, you said a 1.
Or the baby showers or the sip and see.
The sip and see, whatever she wanted to call that.
Okay.
That thing, I don't know, y'all. The ones that are giving it a 7, God bless y'all. Because I'm telling you right now, me and the party planner would have been fighting at my own sip and see.
I know that's right.
We would have been fighting because she had attitude ready. But let me continue here. So now she's a piece of work. When finally all the ladies gathered together and was talking, and then Latisha came and they was putting the heat on her because they talking about this expo. This whole show, every scene, they talked about that expo. Okay, so they was talking about the expo, and she was like, "You said that nobody paid, but then they said some people here talking about $100. Which one is it? Is that not what you said at dinner?" Okay, she was coming for Latisha. Then she told Stormy. She said, "Stormy, don't you got a mouth? I'm talking to you. Latisha ain't talking to me right now, but I'm talking to you. Can't you talk?" She said, "What about the $100? Okay." And what's her name? Kimmi. I'm trying to give Kimmi a break, but Kimmi she's swinging on the fence. One moment she's on this side, the next moment she's on that side. Okay. She just tell your sister-in-law straight up, what you did was messy, and we need to talk about this thing. Okay. And then let me tell you something. Stormy low-key is rising to the top of the food chain. Yes, she is. Low-key, she's rising to the top of the food chain. Why? She said that Marsau acting like a whole girl. She said, call him over here so he can be with the ladies. Because he's always being messy with the ladies. Now, I will say this. When Melody said that, Marsau just wants her, Tisha and Melody to be at odds, I do believe that. But she said he doesn't want Tisha around me because he doesn't want to go strong. I do believe that. And I like the flashback that they did where legit Melody was that chick that came and picked Tisha up and went and said, "I'm going to introduce you to all the power players in this room." okay, so that you can make your come up. And I will say this: do I think that Marsau and Tisha are disrespectful to the point of they act like, I'm not saying when somebody do you a favor every single day, you gotta be like, oh, thank you, I love you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm not saying that, but the D be so disrespectful as to the role they played in your come up on a regular basis, and I cannot. And I'll add to this scene. We'll do these first two scenes. Kimmi and Maurice. Why did we have to have that scene? And then we got introduced to a new brother, Makai. I guess he might have shown up before, but this is the first time I remember him. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I swear to you, you know, some families, the blood runs really thick. That daddy of theirs, that blood runs thick because every last one of them brothers is the same. And they all got the name start with an M. They all the same. A hot mess, okay? So they went there to this building that they building, that the brother is overseeing the project, that it's already late and not ready. And then, you know, Kimmi had to tell her husband, find out about this money. Because you paid, but a whole bunch of other people didn't pay, and your brother is a hot mess. And he was disrespectful to Mel, talking about, I don't want nobody that's just going to sell some t-shirts. Roya, what are your thoughts?
If I'm going to rate Tiffany's sip and see, whatever it was, because to me it wasn't even a sip and see. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give it a 3. Mm-hmm. And I'm only giving it a 3 because Mel said that the food was really good. That looks about all that was really, really good was the food, because mm-hmm. everything else was tragic. You know, one thing that bothers me about these reality shows is when the girls, you know, we go to the events, and when it's your event, you get upset when people mess up your event, but you was okay to go to Martel's event and get all up in Sheree face and get all in her business and figure out what was going on. You was okay when you came to Mel's event asking all the questions about, you know, Monster and, you know, what was going on. So it's just so funny to me that, you know, all the ladies have a problem when people come to their event and mess up their event, but you'll go and mess up everybody else's event.
Oh, you better talk.
Double standards. I hate it.
Right.
I love the way that Nell patiently sat Mel down and continue the conversation, you know, with Marsau and Tisha and their foolishness and the reasoning of why they get invited, and how he was able to express, you know, so vividly how he felt about, you know, Mel and her businesses and the alleged lack thereof of what she does. I thought it was very disrespectful, very low down. Such a, and not to disrespect females, but such a female move, you know, just disrespectful. Mm-hmm. I thought it was very messy of Kimmi to want to keep the conversation going of the Expo. You know, this is supposed to be your sister-in-law. You're supposed to be rooting for your sister-in-law. And I get what she was trying to do. Mm-hmm. Not the time, not the place. It also amazes me how in certain scenes Tisha can play so big and bad, like she can hold her ground, and then when it's time to really hold your ground and stand firm, mm-hmm. where did you go? We're looking for you to stand your ground. But you was okay to throw shade at Keke that she never shows up to nowhere. But you didn't show up to this event when you were supposed to let the people know what's up. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then moving on to Maurice and Kimmi, wasted scene, you know. But you know what also blew my mind is, and this is normal. It's so funny how you can see everybody else as a problem, but when it comes to you, Maurice, you can't see your own problems. Very funny to me. And then why does everybody in this family who works in construction always late on every project?
Every project. The uncle, the brothers, the cousins.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you're up.
Well, Diva, first of all, before I start, let me tell you again. Okay, I know we talked personally, but I'm going to tell you again on your platform. I am sorry for the events that took place on the train. Okay.
Yes.
I respect you so much.
Good.
So I just want everybody else to know that we good. We done talk behind the scenes. I do respect Diva. I caught my feelings. That's why Diva always said catch the train, don't catch feelings. But I am sorry. Okay, now let me tell you something about these episodes. Okay. So I gave the Sippancy a 2. Okay. And that was me being nice. Okay. And the episode a 5. Here's the thing. First of all, if you wanted event that somebody would respect, then make an event that we could respect. Okay. Because this was trash. Okay. Yeah. Um, I think we could have hung up some arts and crafts and had a better show than that. We'd be on the train and we got a better show than that.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah, I was not feeling Tiffany and her fake feelings. Okay, while you walking around feeding the baby, let me tell you something. That's all cute and all, but if you're gonna do an event, do it right. If you're not gonna do it, then don't half do it. We don't want to see no half of it. And if you ain't got the coins, then let's not worry about it.
Right.
Nell, I'm gonna tell you like this. I hope you still got that tracker on Chris, because if you let him stray too far, I'm just saying. Okay, and then as far as I was putting Kimmi and Maurice, I mean, like really, his man said it was gonna be ready, and I'm looking at that place, and I was like, it ain't gonna be ready. Trust me, it's a lot of stuff you got to get done for it to be ready in 4 days. I don't see it. Okay.
I don't see it either. Yeah, she could have just, I don't know what their backyard looks like in their home, but she would have been better off just throwing something in her backyard. Like, come on, Tiffany.
She should have asked Stormy to rent out her estate. It's big.
It's huge.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's huge. You are correct. She could have asked Stormy. Yeah, because that thing, it was a mess. But I will say this. Mel did say the food was good. So maybe that's where she gets her points at, right? Because you always want to have good food at your events. So I don't know. But that's it. Dadon, what are your thoughts?
Forget going to Stormy's estate. They could have went to the Chick-fil-A parking lot and got a few number ones and some kids meals and a large sweet tea and some lemonades and some Polynesian sauce and call it a day. They ain't need to go to that restaurant. It was already late starting, and then you're gonna have the people. It was 3 people there sitting in the corner. We just gonna rent out that big old space for them little bit of people to sit in the corner and all y'all to talk trash for 3 hours. What was the purpose?
Yeah.
Want nobody there? They invite
It wasn't
the same
a
people.
lot of people.
I mean, let's be for real. But I'm just gonna skip all over that Maurice and whatever that lady name is. That was a waste of breath. I can't get that time back in my life.
Kimmi.
But this scene, bring back Wanda, because it seems that everybody can talk junk and it's okay. But when she did it, when she brought up messy stuff, it was a problem. When she was the old lady being messy all the time, it was a problem. Now we got a new old lady being messy. Because this lady, yes, she has a huge business acumen, but this lady is messy as hell.
Yes, she is.
Every time something's going on, she's, well, you said, well, X said, well, I'm just telling you what happened that's not what you saying now. That's the same thing Wanda did. But it seems like somebody got a battery in her back.
Yeah.
And I ain't saying no names, but I'm saying names.
Yeah.
Somebody put a battery in her back and she's doing the dirty work so somebody else can keep their hands clean. Because she's bringing up a lot of stuff that she ain't got no business bringing up. She won't even there for the meetings after the meeting. But she got, I mean, what you catching feelings for? Why you catching feelings for, lady? You already talked to these people. Why now you're coming up because you in front of the group? You're trying to cause trouble now. Why are you causing trouble? You already settled your issues. So now you try to create an issue when you already settled your issue. You a whole grown woman. You're supposed to be setting the example.
Right,
But
like
you
she
act-
used to.
Right, like you used to. These people were going to you for therapy, but
Yeah.
now you acting just as childish as these people are. And you got these people by 20 years in age.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking facts. Speaking facts.
But you acting below them.
Mm-hmm.
Miss, I've been in business for 29 years. You're acting below them.
Yeah.
Below the bar.
Yeah.
You're
true.
not even bringing these people up to your level.
Mm-hmm.
But you're doing the dirty work.
She is. You can tell. She definitely is. And I do see, my thing is, if y'all saying it's reality TV, then unless Miss Wanda took somebody's life, then she's reality TV. This
Exactly.
is right. You got to leave her. Say you. I don't want to. Let me not even go here because I was going because it'll get the people rocking and rolling.
And
but,
let me say this: if people on this panel and people in your audience have a lot of these people have participated in events where you have been a booth renter.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember where the owner or the financier of the event has come back and debriefed the people who have rented a booth at the event.
Never.
It has never happened.
Never.
So all of these people are sitting back and wanting this lady to explain the event to you. Mm-hmm. No, you pay your money or not. You set up your booth and then you sell your product and you leave. Mm-hmm. They don't come back and explain what happened at their event to you. It never happens.
Never.
So for these women to sit around and say, maybe we need no, what planet are y'all from? That never happens.
Never.
But y'all sitting there talking about something, well, yeah, we deserve to have. No, lady, I would have got up and left too. And you lucky I wouldn't have cussed all of y'all out individually.
Right. You know the other problem I have though too is that individually, if you did pay the $100, you can have a conversation with her. Especially if I would have heard later on, well, everybody didn't pay but me, and I'm close to the person. I would have investigated that. I would have had some question. But you are 100% correct. I never had a debriefing afterwards. Matter of fact, they said thank you. Let me know if you want to be on the next show we're doing in the next wherever.
Exactly. And you either choose to participate or you don't.
That's facts. That's facts. That's facts. Mm-hmm.
You say, no, I'm not going to participate in the next one because I don't like the way you ran the business this time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to choose to go to another XYZ and choose to take my product somewhere else.
That's it and that's all?
That's it.
But they're not meeting you for a Ponderosa.
No.
So you can happen. You can roll. And I also don't like, when it comes to Nell, I also don't like if I had a conversation with you and we forgave each other and then you want to keep bringing it up, then you didn't really forgive me.
Exactly.
Yeah. You playing me out. You playing me out. You said like Tisha said, we sat down and we had a talk. Why are you back here? Why are you still on it?
Because she got some C's and some double D's in her back. And she got a crank. Somebody cranked her up before the event.
Oh my God. Robin, your thoughts?
Oh no.
I'm here to come up on mute.
Okay. Huh? I'm sorry. Give me a minute. I skipped E. E, go ahead.
Sorry, Diva.
No, you're fine.
Just a few things. I agree with the Don about Wanda. It seems like the only messy old people we can have on the show are the ones that Mel endorses and she signs off on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
But Tisha and her tacky ass showed up without reserving a seat in that empty abandoned warehouse. But thank heaven and Joseph and Cain and Moses that she did, because now instead of 12 guests being there, we had 13 guests. So kudos to Tisha. Just like the Don said, it was just as empty as Michelet's concert a few weeks ago that you showed on Trending Topic. I was also confused as to why no men were there. It was only the ladies, which would have made sense if Tiffany had a daughter, but because she had a son, I thought the baby reveal should have been a co-ed event. This way Marsau could have joined the conversation and answered the lingering questions from these other vendors. Second, Tisha is a very beautiful lady, but she is in a very unattractive relationship, both romantically and professionally, with this husband of hers. Tisha is trying to pull the Cynthia Bailey with this retreating into a shell when it comes to addressing the things Marsau says and does. And Tisha is so uncomfortable regarding questions of the operations and accounting aspect of the event. In a traditional corporate setting, Tisha would never have to debrief them. But the fact Tisha could not articulate that confidently, it tells me that she bought her degree online, the same place Sheree Whitfield bought hers, because Tisha didn't know a damn thing. Furthermore, if Tisha paid attention during her contract law course, because yes, I have a marketing degree and a business degree, and I had to take contract law, legal ethics, and 4 accounting courses, Tisha would know just like I know. These are conversations you have on the front end and not the back end. The reason that those ladies had such an issue is because they say they had no idea that they would have to pay $100. But why are we even arguing over $100 amongst people who are 100,000aires and millionaires? You're so rich and famous, you got all the clout. Compose yourself. Pay the $100. It's ridiculous. Third, Stormy is very disrespectful. I could not work in a professional setting with a woman like Stormy because Stormy is too ghetto. It was cute at first, but I don't like this. Referring to Marsau as a woman every 5 minutes is not, that's not the move to me, because by disrespecting Marsau like that, I don't like where that can go, because if Marsau turned around and reciprocated, because this is the way I'm looking at it. If Stormy thinks that all women are messy this way, not to say that we don't have our messy tendencies, I know I do, but that's not all we are. So if Stormy is reducing us as a gender to a pile of noise and messiness, then she's really making all of us look bad, especially in a professional environment. If Marsau is gossiping and fussing, that makes him a woman. What does cussing, name calling, and fighting make Stormy? Does that make her a man? Like, help me understand the aggression. You know what I'm saying? Marsau is less than a man. I agree with that, but he is not a woman. He has a small space of nothing where a person is supposed to be. That is what Marsau is. So let's not even give him the title of a man or a woman. But last, Kimmi's confessional look is beautiful. Every scene she's in, she is styled very gracefully. I love it. And it's giving out back like I never left. I love it. I was a bit shocked though that
whose style? Who's confessional?
Kimmi.
Oh, okay.
I love Kimmy's white dress in the confessional. But Maurice, when they decided to show Credit One on TV, after those recent reviews I saw online that are 1 star and saying that it's giving fraud, I was shocked by that. Micah ain't nothing but he's doing what the rest of the Scott brothers do, taking money and sleeping on the job.
Sleeping on the job.
Is that the one Vanessa was with Melody's mom?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. Not at all. So the thing is with the $100, it is the principle. I've never been to an expo where you was even allowed to get your table number and where you will be placed at the expo without giving your final payment. And I'm gonna say like 2 days before. And you will lose your deposit if you don't pay your final payment 2 days before, and you won't have a table when you try to come there. Like, so did she need to organize this thing better? Yes. Do I think if they came to her in a different way and type of space, would it maybe been received different? Absolutely. But for her first expo, was it really horrific? No. But for your first expo and not knowing whether you're going to charge somebody up front, this and that, there was some basics, right? And again, they was missing the basic foundation And if they didn't have that comeback meeting, they wouldn't even have got a smidgen of a foundation because it came from Melanie. But Robin, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I thought that, okay. I would like to start by saying that there are a lot of good reasons why the Expo continues to be brought up, and it has to do with the basics that we're missing. We talk about it week after week after week. I disagree that there should not have been a discussion about it. If the people anytime you have an event, if you're in any kind of organization, the people who organize the event do typically come together at some point, some way or fashion, and do a debriefing, and you discuss what happened. So I think that there are half the people who have been in the discussions, including at the Sip and See, were part of the planning process, even though they want to claim that Stormy was not. Remember, you brought her in when Mel dropped out. She went through the walkthrough. So she was seen as, in part, an organizer, in my opinion. So I do think that it's appropriate. And they're going to keep bringing it up because none of it makes sense. You said for a first time it wasn't bad. It was bad for a first time when it's on national TV and you ain't going to put it together.
Right. I do agree with that.
So, so I think that's why that keeps coming up. I think that Nell is really interesting. I see her. There are two things about her. I kind of like that she's messy, but she's not mean and nasty and as harsh, abrasive, and windmilling like
Miss Wanda.
Like Miss Wanda. Thank you for not letting me go off on a tangent on her. So that's what I can appreciate about her, is that it's not her. As much as she's being messy, she's not. Her words aren't daggers, knives, and bullets. So I can appreciate that. What I didn't like, though, throughout the entirety of the discussions that included a couple of the women, was giving Marsau, who I absolutely have every bit of disdain I can conjure up at any moment for, that they always assign him gender. They always call him acting like a woman or being woman-like is an offense. Because you know what? Do not diss me as a woman by calling him a woman, because when you say it and call him a woman or being the way that he behaves, you are dismissing and diminishing the role that is positive, effective, and strong and stern about me and other women. And I don't like it. If he's a jacked up person, if he has poor morals, if his values are bad, if he has no business sense, let's talk about that. But don't put it on, don't categorize him in any of the protected classes, because you know what? He is an a-hole and a fool. Neither of those are protected classes, in my humble opinion. And the last thing I like to say is, what is it about these people who we see on the reality TV who constantly and consistently put themselves in the crosshairs of the justice system, in that they are on full display? I'm going to say this. I don't think that it was, I do believe it was quite by design that Melody made her statement about the ownership of Scoped, because she knows good and doggone well what the repercussions are if they audit that business, if they do any kind of work, to note that they have defrauded the federal government, to put themselves in a position to be classified as a minority or woman-owned business enterprise. And I think that was a direct shot in the heart and head of Schultz. And by the way, in Marsau's wide hips too.
So I'm coming to you, Juanita. So the thing is, what's wild is they did it to Peter Thomas all day long over there at Roa. They called her Patricia. Same difference, right? Called her Patricia, called her B. I'm saying her, forgive me. Called Peter Thomas Patricia, called him a B, called him, saying the same things they're saying about Marsau. They did over there at Roa.
Can I just say this? I will say, I want to be on record as saying that I have never, ever endorsed that, because I just find it just so wholly offensive. And I just don't, just need to go on record for that.
Yeah, that's right. That's fine. And I'm not saying like you in particular, but I'm just saying that it was tolerated on Roa for years. Yes. So Stormy is over there on Love and Marriage Huntsville. She may be bringing this up about Marsau, but like I said, and to this day, people call Peter Thomas Patricia. So
I call him Uncle Ben.
right. And so not saying whether it's right or wrong, I'm just saying that this narrative has come up before on reality TV. And yes, I will add to this. We didn't get to that scene, but it's okay. I mean, I will add that, yeah, I thought it was really, really messy. It was definitely a low blow. And she actually even broke down, she broke that thing down to the point where the feds could be digging up in that business just to see what's going on, especially because Tisha came out of her own mouth and said, one, that she was kicked out the business and she don't know nothing about the business that she owes 85% of. I'm like saying, I was sitting there watching it and I'm saying to myself, these people can't be this stupid. They can't be. They can't be this stupid. I was really sitting there like, you can't be this stupid. Out of your own mouth, you said you have no part in a company that you are allegedly own 85% of. And then you have Mel and Nell sitting there talking about, well, if she own 85% and they got another partner, what do they own? Half of the 15%, 7.5 and 7.5. The conversation was loaded. And especially when you had a situation where with the Tupac situation where this guy sat on interviews after interview after interview, like who I don't know who said the other day, might have been Roy, I don't know who said it, snitching on himself. And now y'all sitting up on this reality TV when you got all of these other reality stars that went down, got clinked up. We can name about 3 or 4 reality stars that got clinked up, and y'all playing with the government. I'm good. Like, are you serious? But I do believe, allegedly, they did it so that they can get all the benefits of it being a female-ran business. But anywho, Juanita, your thoughts?
Well, first of all, the sip and see, I'll give that a 1. They could have just went to the Huddle House or the Waffle House. I mean,
Listen, Waffle House hits every time. It never misses. The dirtier, the better.
Yeah. So, but you know what? I kind of like Miss Nell, but she's messy in a nice, nasty way.
Yes.
You know, she in people business too much, but she do it in a nice, nasty way. She don't talk behind your back. She gonna say it to your face, and be straight with it. Now, as far as Tisha and the Black Expo thing, well, it's like everybody say, when you got a booth, they're gonna talk to you about what you're gonna pay and everything up front. Nobody's gonna wait until the day of the event and charge you money because they said you took up all that space and all. No, that wasn't right. And Marceau is just messy. His name is Messy Marceau. He's just messy. And I like when Mel and Miss Nell sat down and talked, but it's like you saying, she put Mel is throwing a rock and hiding her hand.
Hello.
She putting their business out there so that anybody who's watching could catch it and report it, but it won't be said that she did it. So that's her way of getting back at Marsau. And as far as Kimmi and Maurice, child, please, they just, go on. But I do think that Tisha and Marcel want to be what Melody and Martell was. They're just trying to take over the show. They want to be the star.
Boom.
It's not going to happen. Melody brought that show. Melody is intelligent, and I admire her. In the scene when she was trying to show Tisha how to. Right. And this is what Marceau is afraid of. He's afraid that Tisha is going to get the upper hand, and he ain't going to have nothing else he's not going to be able to manipulate her anymore. That's why Mel told her, what she said, that Tisha ain't going to be crying when she leave your ass. I thought that was funny. But
you know what though, Tisha, if she does that, I will fall all the way out this seat. She's not that chick. So he's jealous over nothing because he don't even know his own wife. Because the person I see on the TV would never. She
You
would
don't
never.
think she'll ever leave him?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Wishful thinking.
No, listen, we could do a friendly nickel bet on that. I don't think she's gonna leave. I think listen, out of all the stuff she heard and she's been through, and this is what we heard on TV, you know she goes through worse behind the scenes.
Yeah.
No, she'll leave when the feds come and the charges drop. She'll have to.
Well,
Just
she'll
like
be tied up in that too.
Yes, she will.
don't
Because
they?
her name is on the dotted
Everything.
line.
And she running her
Were
mouth
we
on the
supposed to
TV.
comment on that scene?
Huh?
Were we supposed to comment on that scene?
No, we didn't get there yet.
Oh, okay, because I got a little bit.
No,
I'm sorry.
it's okay.
I jumped the gun. I'm sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. Let me jump back, really. We got a new person in the building. Everybody welcome Ace's Style. You're in the building. What are your thoughts on those two scenes?
Thank you, Diva. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Ace.
Hey. So I'm glad to be here. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. So, yeah, I agree with everybody, right? Like, you know, the Sip and See was a little low budget, right? I feel like they could have had that at Stormy's house or, you know, Tiffany's house or something like that. And what was the other scene that we were talking about? I didn't want to jump ahead.
No, you're fine. Kimmi and Maurice and we met, what's his name? The other brother, Makai. Mm-hmm. How many brothers do they have?
I think it's 4. I think it's Mark.
It's 4 of them all together.
Yeah, Maurice and Marcel. Okay. So similarly, I mean, you know, I feel like we met their dad earlier, and I feel like they were raised, you know, in Detroit. But I would want to meet their mom, because their view toward women, like Maurice, the way he treats his wife when he went on Carlos King, the way that Marsau, you know, talks to Tisha. Like, y'all remember when they were at the dinner table and the kids were saying, you know, I wouldn't talk to my spouse like that. Like, that's embarrassing. When your kids put you out on national TV, you could see that he was embarrassed. So you're right. Tisha probably is not going to leave him. But I hope that what she took from this episode is to protect herself and her assets, because, you know, like everybody was saying, the feds are listening. And the fact that, you know, Melody and Nell was talking behind the scenes. I feel like, yeah, like Tisha needs to apply that knowledge that she got from her degrees, because she has a master's in business and MBA, right? Yeah, she should use that, you know, and protect herself, because I feel like her husband doesn't have her best interest at heart. The way that he views women, the way he talks to Melody, the way he talks to Nell, the way he talks to Tisha, is problematic. He's a misogynist.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure he is. But, you know, it's a lot, right? It's a lot. But I want to go back and note this. Not too many people would have done what Melody did with Tisha that time. Brought her there and was introducing her to all of these people. Not too many people would do that.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people. So I did like the fact that they backtracked and they showed that. But do I think that Tisha will ever wake up and leave him? No, because I really believe that she feels she won't be able to do anything without him. And do I think that those two are trying to be the Melody and the Martell? They could never. They could never. And the one thing I will say about Melody and Martell, when all heck breaks loose, if they have to stand by each other, they will. They will, and then they'll go back to being messy to each other. But if Martell had to come and stand up for Melody, he would. Shan, what are your thoughts?
Hey, can you hear me good?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I just left. Hey, y'all.
Hey,
Hey.
Hey, Shan.
So, hey, listen. If it quacks like a duck, looks like a duck, act like a duck, what is it? A duck, right? I agree with Stormy. Shout out to her for speaking the truth. But I also see what Auntie Robin is saying. Like, not all women behave like how Marsau behaved. But his attitude is very much disgusting. I'm giving the gender reveal a -8 because it's giving very much tacky, cheap, but it's Tiffany. So what do we expect, right? And what other scene were you talking about? Sorry, I'm driving.
That's fine. Be
Oh,
careful while you're
Jesus.
driving. You know, Kimmi and Maurice. I mean, do we care?
Oh, you know, Kimmy, she's looking so beautiful. Like for all she's been through,
She
I feel like
is.
she looks so lovely, and that's what's up. I'm happy for her. I'm happy she's in remission, even though that wasn't a part of the scene. But still,
No, you're
the
right.
thing is,
She is.
Marcel, he probably doesn't have people around him that holds him accountable because his brother found it funny. But his brother did say he's an a-hole, so he knows what's going on. And we could do the friendly bet. I feel like Marsau will leave Tisha before she ever leaves him.
Now that I can get with.
I hope
That
that
I
don't
can.
happen, but I wouldn't be surprised. He seemed like that type. Whenever he gets whatever he needs to get, he'll be like, okay, next type of thing. I hope that doesn't happen for her, but I do wish that Tisha was friends with Mel, because sometimes you need some strong people in your corner. Because listen, Scorpios, Mel is a Scorpio like me, and I'm not the biggest fan of her, but we are strong people. We
Oh,
could really stand, you know,
I'm
fall
a
down some
Scorpio
hill.
too,
What you
Shan.
have to, what you have
Who's
to
a
understand,
Scorpio?
Me, Juanita.
Juanita.
I'm a
Oh, see, that's
Scorpio
why I like you
too.
for a reason.
Oh my God, this is Scorpio
Hey.
City right now. But what you have to understand is, Shan, is that Tisa is in the space where Melanie once was. She doesn't want to hear anything negative about her husband, whether she believes it's true or not, and she's not
Yeah.
ready to leave her husband, right?
Right. And I don't want
So
her to leave him. I just want her to be a little backbone, because it seems
she
like he
has
walked
more
over
than
her.
she had previously, though. I
Yeah,
give
she's
that. She
getting a little
definitely
Yeah.
bit.
has. She has a little bit more than she previously had, but she still, because even at the dinner with Nell and Chris Fletcher, Marcel shut her down and shut her up. See,
Right.
you want to shut me up like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I wish she would stand up, because it seems like he owns her. Like that's the vibe. He acts like you're my property. Like, no, I'm your wife, the freak, you know? Excuse
Right,
me.
right.
And I like the new lady.
Who
Um,
Miss Nell?
yeah, Miss Nell. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like she was a good addition, because a girl was getting bored. And y'all know I like Stormy. I'm like the 1%. I like Stormy because I feel like Stormy says what needs to be said, even though that was disrespectful, because I'm not going to call another woman's husband up, whatever. And Tisha was sitting there like, okay, I agree.
Yeah,
But I feel like Stormy's a good addition in the new girl.
yeah. Yeah. I go
You're
in
a
and out.
Scorpio too, in my opinion. I'm
Yeah,
I
sorry.
yes.
told you that once before, girl.
I didn't hear you. Oh my God, this is Scorpio City. Sorry.
It's
Focus.
Scorpio City.
All right. So let's get through the rest of these scenes. We kind of talked about a little bit, but I'll throw the scene in there. Mel and Nell at the daycare. Nell was also trying to be messy when she asked Mel about what did she think about Tiffany's event. I think Nell was really talking about like overall, and then Melanie redirected and said, "Well, the food was good." Okay. I really think Nell was gonna go down a different road, but Melanie swayed her back, right? And that again is where they talked about the woman certified business. She said it's all smoke and mirrors. She also said that even though her and Tisa are trying to build a relationship, they still block each other on social media. I want to say they talked about the lawsuit that those two had going on right now. It was a whole hot mess. And then the 85% and the 15-15, it was just a lot for me. I said, well, they're going to dig right there. Now, here's what I thought was interesting. Keke and her husband, Ameen. Keke, I think, she still got a lot going on. I put it to you that way. She has a lot going on, and this calling the 911 in the hospital, and then her husband saying that her whole problem has to do with the methadone. It was just a mess. Okay, he was in that kitchen, air frying his fried chicken, making his mac and cheese, cooking some beans, and told her, which I listen, he was telling her some truths. He said, you can't be in here eating all this Chinese food. You ordered all this Chinese food, and then you wonder why you waking up and your stomach hurting. So Ameen is not here for the methadone treatment. He wants her off of it. Those two, they got a little struggle going on there. They got a lot going on. And Keke is a lot. And my thing is, you have on the show, but she don't show up for no events. She's sick. She in the hospital. She had to call the ED. I mean, is she earning this check? We're just asking, okay? And then Mel and Marcel at the end. You know what? He's getting on my nerves. I really think he feels like he's being funny, and he's sounding stupid. I don't respect e-commerce business, but yet your wife is selling T-shirts, mugs. Y'all selling hair care products for the girls. You just want to do a disrespectful dig, and you sound stupid when you said, oh, you're in the business to make money. Do you realize that you on TV talking to all your potential customers? Telling them you ain't got no heart and soul in the business. You're just in it to make money. He's so dumb and stupid, but yet he thinks he's so smart. I'm sitting here again. That was another sit-up moment for me. I said, what? He just, you talking to all your potential customers, telling them you ain't got no heart and soul in none of it. You got a whole kids line. Do you know that hair business is like $1 billion industry? And if I had the choice between a kid product, and I'm sorry, it was theirs and somebody else's, I would buy to somebody else's. Because you telling me, you just in this to make money. How do I know what's in that jar? My baby hair falling out because of you. Because y'all don't really care. Y'all just want the bottom line. Just ignorant. It was just ignorant. It was like, I'm like, okay, you selling T-shirts, you selling mugs, you got your daughters with a hair care line, but you don't care about e-commerce. You just want to make money. You sounded stupid. Roy, your thoughts on those last few scenes?
Regarding Marsau, the ignorance. How can you call yourself a businessman, but then you gonna sit up on national TV and tell the people that you don't care about them, you care about their money? And as you said, Diva, how am I supposed to trust that you putting good stuff in this product? Because you don't care about me. You just care about the money that you making off me. Secondly, I would like to acknowledge Mel for her courageousness to sit with such trash, low down to the gutter filth, to sit there and, calmly allow a man to degrade her the way he did, to disrespect her. Because she did better than me. I would have dragged that ninja all the way to hell and back. We would have been fighting. And then for him, when she got at the table, she was being sarcastic. What can I get you? Da, 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 da. For him to try to play into like he finna get up and serve her. This is how we know you cheating. Because you'll let a woman take care of you. Problematic for me. Also, every time Marsau is faced with his truth, it's kind of like you hide and try to backpedal the things that you were saying, because every time Mel brought up everything that Miss Nell told her, he would try to backpedal it and then try to like make it seem like, oh, well, it wasn't that bad. I didn't mean it like that. And then when she caught you in your lies, you just went straight to the gutter low and just try to make Mel seem like that she's not this businesswoman. Now, I am not the biggest fan of Mel, but what I will say, I respect her as a businesswoman. I respect her as a mother. And she does a pretty good job on this show thus far. So, I respect her there. But Marsau, as you said, Diva, he just another Patricia. The other scene with Keke and her husband. This was a very tough scene to watch because I can tell that her husband is trying to do his best to hang in during this tough season of their lives. Regardless of whether he was on substance abuse as well or not, it is a struggle whether he was trying to stay away from it, or it is a struggle dealing with someone who is having issues with it. I think he wants to do his best as a husband and a man to really try to help his wife. But from my view and from what I see, Keke don't really want the help. She wants somebody that's going to cheer her on for what she wants to do, not what is in the best interest of her. Because some of the things that he was saying, like, for example, you can't be having stomach issues and stuff, and then you're going to order all this Chinese food. You know, that's just like with my health situation, Diva. I can't go out here doing whatever I want to do. And then when it's time for trouble, want to be, you know, oh, Diva, I'm hurt. Please come help. No. I knew that I could not do that. And then I turned around and did it, and there were still issues. In my opinion, from what I see and from what I examined, she is still dealing with substance abuse issues. It may not be on the same level of what she was using, but she is using something. And I think it is very distasteful, in my opinion, for Carlos to allow her to still be up here when she has children. Not, you know, teenagers, but baby children who are watching their mother, unfortunately, fall apart on national TV. And now they're seeing their parents' relationship. I'm sure they already see it in the home, but now to have that credibility of the TV showing my parents, you know, they're falling apart. It's just a very sad situation altogether. And it just doesn't seem like that Keke, first of all, in my opinion, has the real support. And then secondly, it doesn't seem like she desires the real support to get past this stumbling block that she's at.
Yeah. It's tough for both sides. It's tough for,
she's wrapped up in the fame and fortune. She's wrapped up in trying to be somebody when you really need to focus on where you are today.
Right. Yeah, I give Miss Ann, I do too. They did so far. It seems like they did get the show back on track. I will give them that too.
Yes, I'm going to drop down, but overall, this episode, Diva, I thought, to me, I'm going to give this episode an 8. I thought it was really good.
No, it was good.
Outside of some of the other senseless scenes altogether, great job.
Great job. I will say that. Thank you, boo.
Love y'all.
Love you back.
Love you, Royer.
Okay, so it's hard to watch Keke on screen because you want to root for her, and it's a sad situation to be in. And I really don't understand how anybody that cares about her has not said, look, I need you to take time away from trying to get on this show and get yourself together. Like, it's really rough. And I know people have, you know, tried over and over again different, you know, techniques, but methadone is supposed to wean you off. And if you're saying you've been clean for over 2 years, you wouldn't still be on methadone. That's first thing. So the fact that you're saying you're still on methadone is telling me that you've relapsed a few times. I'm going to pray for her because that's all I can do. She will not get herself together until she is ready. And that's just something that we all looking at this show is going to have to just keep continuing to pray for her, because she could have great potential. And I would hate to see something happen to her on this show and that show lasts. You know what I'm saying? As far as Nell and Mel talking in the daycare, I think it's tacky to sit in the daycare and talk about somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish they had been somewhere else. It was just the scene was off-putting to be in a daycare. But at least the room was clean and the kids was out of the room, because that would have been like a hot mess for you to be talking with the kids around. And the thing with Marsau and Mel sitting down, okay, Marsau is who he is. He was raised to think women are beneath him. He doesn't care about the clothing line or the hair care line because he has no stake in it. His money is not tied into it. It's only Tisha and the kids that's attached to that. So he doesn't care if it wins or loses because he's not profiting for real off of it. And low key, I think he wants her to fail. So he can say, see, you only good when you with me. And I think that's where Tisha is right now. Tisha's at a point where she's actually looking at herself on TV and seeing the cracks that she's been trying to cover up for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm proud of Tisha for, moving in silence and stacking her bread because, low key, that's what's going around is that she's stacking it up, getting ready for D-Day. So I'm glad if she is stacking up her paper, getting ready, to make that move. And I'm going to support her wholeheartedly. I'm going to pray for these people because for y'all to get on TV and look this sad on this TV show, it's really sad. And I hate that y'all from Alabama doing this.
Ooh, listen, they showing their life. E, your thoughts?
All right. So, in my opinion, kind of brought up something I was going to bring up. Mm-hmm. Nell and this daycare. When I saw that, I was just thinking about malevolent spirit. You're in there filming a scene for reality TV, gossiping, and sowing seeds of maliciousness, knowing that someone down at the solicitor's office or the FTC may be looking into it.
Oh shoot! Did we lose E? Oh, there you go. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you lose me?
For 1 second, yeah.
You're going to have those kids eating breakfast in that same room tomorrow morning after you just had all these vicious spirits and Carlos and Nell scurrying through the air. I wouldn't be surprised if Carlos would be the one to turn Marsau and Tisha in for 2 more seasons of storylines because, number one, we know Carlos doesn't like to pay. And number 2, we know that from the Bravo ammo, which is where Carlos comes from, especially with the Housewives, and then he was also on Love and Hip Hop, they love a divorce and they love a good trial. They love that. They eat that up. And it's good press for them. And so this is right up their MO. And just like I believe Carlos is eating it up and exploiting this whole thing with Crime Stoppers, when they advertised that story with Keke. In my opinion, they're making a mockery of Crime Stoppers. When people do crime, they should not be rewarded by being on television in a positive light. We're not trying to put a spin on people who steal or break the law. Do you get what I'm saying? It's supposed to be a negative connotation that is attached to that. That is number 2. And when it comes to this daycare, if you have this type of energy in this area and you're going to put this on camera where kids are learning their numbers and their alphabet and where they take naps, what are you doing when the cameras are not rolling? What are you talking about in that space? I just felt like it was a total disregard for the learning environment. And you might as well have Miss Wanda and Keke running the daycare down by the food truck, if you ask me. Now, last thing, Mel showed up to that scene ready to be extra and messy. She had on her Mel Cedar shirt and her red bottoms. I like that. That was cute. And she was preparing for things to She was preparing for things to go wrong, which it did. And Marcel showed up with his car salesman dress slack and his ill-fitting button-down shirt. And if you zoomed in closely, you would have noticed that one of the lower buttons on his shirt was unbuttoned. Marcel looked a sloppy mess. And I don't know why Carlos didn't ask Marcel to re-walk that sidewalk and do that again, because that did not look good. I want to say the part where Marcel spoke about e-commerce, and I worked in e-commerce. When he spoke about Mel trying to open up business after business to see what I was thinking, isn't that what he and Tisha are doing by hook or crook? Because you're doing this with these government contracts, and you've been working on this house for 10 years, allegedly, and you're doing these hair care products. You really have to be careful with these hair care products, especially with kids. I have a daughter, and if I even thought, and now I would never put anything by Marsau or Tisha on my baby's hair, but if I even thought that you didn't have what is advertised on that bottle, because from what able to determine if you put water in a bottle and just put a name on it, not saying this is what Marsau and Tisha did, but that's the only way that you could get away with being able to sell something in case something went wrong. If you say, oh, it's just water, because everybody uses water. But you really have to be careful when it comes to injury, especially with children and these hair care products. And if you're not taking it seriously and you're on film saying, I don't care about that, I just want the money, I don't know who would purchase any kids' hair care products from you, because it's dangerous. And if he's not careful, they could get a class action lawsuit. I'm curious to know how many sales they've gotten, and I need to go look up the reviews. If anybody knows the name of their products, put it in the chat. I want to go do some research.
It's some Millie and Me or something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna research that, because he sounds like a customer service nightmare, and is not ethical. He is not a good advertisement, but he should not be the communications for any business. As far as I'm concerned, he's a liability.
Mm. Mm. Thank you, E. My screen shifted around. Let me go. Shan, did you go on this yet?
No.
Not
Okay.
yet.
Go ahead, Shan.
Hashtag ill-fitting button-down shirt.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that was so funny. No, but in all seriousness, damn, I wouldn't want to mess with Mel, because the way she was breaking down his financials without breaking down his financials, I was like, she was like, so you own maybe 7.5% and da 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 da. I think they shouldn't talk. I don't think Marsau should talk. I don't think Tisha should talk. Because you ever heard people say stuff like, Diva, you ever heard people say, like, the more somebody talk, it's like they talk themselves in a hole, or I can't remember the saying, but you know those people who act overly smart and
Yeah,
they
you're
just
right.
talk to where they sound dumb, and it's like, what did you say?
Where they tell on themselves.
Yeah. So that's what Marsau give. It's like if you let him talk enough, it's like you see his true colors. And like I agree with everyone saying it's dumb for you to be like, oh yeah, I'm doing this project just some money. Like nobody, even in our 9 to 5s, we don't go around advertising how we doing it just some money. Like you know what I mean? It's like you wanna seem like you care a little bit, especially when customer service and all of that. The scene with him and Mel had me dying, because I thought she got a little more upset, but she's very like, she did it very poised and very, classy read. But my thing is, if you're selling t-shirts and you're able to take care of your family and you're living a good life, sell t-shirts.
Exactly.
I don't respect anybody knocking anybody for, oh, you doing this and you not doing this. Like Mel seemed to be living fabulously.
In 1 mile,
Hold
use
on.
the right lane.
All right.
Hold
okay.
on. Sorry,
Okay.
back.
Okay.
So yeah, so the thing is, you knocking somebody, but where do you live, sir? Hashtag, where do you live? Because you got your wife staying over here with the kids, and you working on this house. It's giving Chateau Charade. Like, how long does it take to build a house? I never built one, but you know what I'm saying. So it's disrespectful how he's knocking her. So Mel, go ahead, sell all your things, because it seems like she's living a very good life, you know. And he's just a hater. Marsau is a hater. He doesn't like anybody doing better than him, especially a woman. That's what it's giving. And it's very sad. It's very sad.
Extremely sad. Yeah, I do agree with that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shan. Juanita, your thoughts?
Okay. Mel, I like the way that she read Marsau. And I like the way that how calm she was about it, and everything. Because Marsau is just arrogant. He's just arrogant, and he just ain't no doggone good at all. So, but I love the way that she stood up to him. And as far as Keke, I feel sorry for her. I really think she needs a break from the show. Her husband is doing all he can to, to try to convince her what she's doing is wrong. And from my opinion, in my opinion, looking at him, it's like he's saying, I don't know how much more of this I could take. I've stood by you and I'm trying to help you, but you're just, digging yourself further and further in the ground. So I don't think Carlos should have exposed her like that. And it's just a sad situation with her. And I that's about it for me.
Yeah. Thank you, Juanita.
Mhm.
Aces, you're up.
Okay, I agree with everybody. I think that, Marcel is really insecure. I think that he and Tisha are both jealous of Melody's success because, she's been doing really well. You know what I mean? And if you look at Tisha, I'm glad they did that flashback from how she used to look in earlier seasons. Her style, she's been progressively copying Melody. If you guys notice, her
Yes.
makeup has changed. Right? They're selling T-shirts out of black. Like, how are you making fun of Melody selling T-shirts when you're doing the exact same business model? So I think it's giving, insecure, jealousy, and yeah, I really hope that one day they can do better. You know what I mean? Because Melody was right. She was like, I'm not going to get on stage when at the Black Business Expo when you're about to be sued or in a lawsuit for a $5 million, you know what I mean, legal issue. Like, you want to protect yourself, protect your assets, especially as a businesswoman. So she's smart.
She's very smart, but not only that, I want to say that Melody had a hair care line for her little ones.
She did. Sugar Mama.
So
Sugar Mama.
for sure, they are like doing like a pattern here of modeling, copying, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Your thought process comes directly from Melody.
Yeah.
But the difference is people like Melody and
Sugar Mama.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. But yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
But no, and I think the only reason why Melody and Martell can't show anything with the kids is because of everything they have been going through, and they're still behind the scenes trying to figure things out and all of that. But for sure, I'm remembering that Melody and them came out first with a hair care line for their little girls. And it's just unfortunate now that they can't really put those items on the TV because of the messiness between, her and Martell right now. But yeah, if you think about everything that the Scotts do, it is really based off of the Melody Holt and Martell. Well, more Melody, but their, whole brand and what they was building up. And if those two never got a divorce and didn't go through what they went through, oh, they definitely was a power couple on the company.
Yes. Definitely.
They definitely were. And it's so sad. And that's why, to me, and yes, I know it takes two to tangle, but that's why I really feel like these ladies, if a married man comes and try to talk to you, walk away.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Walk away. Like, let it go. Tell that man to go back home to his wife. Like, I don't, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. And then at the end of the day, with those situations, it just always ends up being a whole hot mess with all of these broken families, right? And I go back because I just read the story the other day where Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's doing some interview. And my thing is too, at the end of the day, don't interview about it no more. Shut up. Even if the person that's interviewing you asks you the question, say, I respectfully decline. Because he's doing an interview and he said his biggest F up was when he slept with the housekeeper.
Right.
But you got a son by the housekeeper. So I'm going to need you to shut your mouth.
Yeah.
And not say that, because you got a grown son by the housekeeper. He already feels like the outcast. And a matter of fact, all of Arnold Schwarzenegger kids with his wife Maria, the ex-wife Maria, they don't like Joseph, his son with the housekeeper. But this is not that kid's fault. But the housekeeper, you see what you brought your son into? You brought your son into some mess and started him behind the 8 ball because you slept with somebody's darn husband.
Yeah, my heart breaks for Ariane's and Martell's baby as well, because you know what I mean.
Yeah,
they're probably gonna grow up feeling like that. Unfortunately, it's not fair. Yeah,
it's not fair. It's not fair. And I hate
Well,
to
tell
say
these men to get some vasectomy. Get some reversible vasectomies like Marsau got. Quit making all these extra babies and then you can cheat in peace. How about that? Because child support is
Mm.
expensive. You can ask my baby daddy. He knows.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
let me
Okay.
go, Emmanuel, your thoughts on these last few scenes.
Okay, so Tiffany's party, I'll give it a 1. It was
Mm-hmm.
very unorganized and it was nothing special. So when Tiffany went to go berate Sheree, talking about, oh, your pee is good to keep Martell, she should have asked her how to throw a party. That's what she should have been asking her.
Mm-hmm.
That
And
part.
Stormy, right? Stormy, extremely disrespectful, very disrespectful, and she's lucky that Latisha is not ghetto because she called her husband a woman, and I'm surprised Tisha didn't strangle her in that moment because that is
She's a
not
punk.
cool at all. Kiki, my heart goes out to her and her husband. I think her husband truly loves her and wants to help her, but it looks like Kiki's problem is a lot to deal with, so I'm just wishing them healing and that everything is fine with that. Marcel, listen, I'm gonna get dragged for saying this, but
No, you won't.
he he's the comedic relief of the show, and whoever takes him seriously, jokes on them. Look, the
Wait,
Scots,
who's the relief?
Marcel, the Scots have successful and thriving restaurant, club, and brand, so he has every right to have his perception of a t-shirt business. He has a right to his opinion.
Because he
But
sells
let's
t-shirts too.
let's get to Melody, okay? Because she's very passive aggressive. She want to come over here talking about, oh, everything's, sunshine, but I thought it was very disrespectful for Mel to throw them under the bus, potentially putting their livelihoods in risk. And second, how dare you wish, mention, even put it out in the universe that Tisha will leave Marsau? Do you want their kids to grow up in a broken, divorced home? Is
She
that
don't
what you
care.
want?
Oh.
And she wants to say, well, if Tisha hangs out with me, she'll get the strength to leave him. Well, who did you hang out with to give you the strength to leave?
Oh,
Because last I
damn.
remember, you
Oh my
endured
God.
infidelity for
Ooh, oh,
years.
damn.
And
Oh,
maybe, had it not been for a child out of wedlock, you would probably still be with him. It was
oh.
sickening to watch Melody's malice in this episode. That's all I had to say.
Yeah, I want them to break up. I'm going on record. He
Wait,
said it.
wait, hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. So I wish people would stop saying everyone is copying Melanie. Like the Don said, there are so many hair care product lines out there. Melanie was not the first to start this. Let Tisha live. So here's the
Come
thing.
to me.
Let me wait, give me a minute. I'm gonna go in order because the Don is next, so I can, and then I'm gonna Robin, and I gotta go in order. But let me just say this. When it comes to, I really don't care because actually Stormy has a successful hair care line. There's so many people with successful hair care lines. It's not an issue of let Tisha live. It's, to me, don't have your husband downplaying the person that you know you modeling your life after, because they cannot make a decision. They don't seem to make a decision until after Melody has made it. And I'm not saying don't do it. Go ahead. Do a hair care line for your children too. But he's sitting there being disrespectful. And then to have the nerve to say, you just throwing stuff to the wall and seeing what sticks, that was the ultimate level of disrespect. Any entrepreneur will tell you they probably did 13 or 14 businesses before they had the one that really kicked off and took off the ground. So she has the courage to keep trying and never give up on her dreams, and you want to say keep throwing stuff to the wall to see what sticks? That expo wouldn't have been half of what it was had they not had that meeting, because Tisa didn't even come in there with a business plan.
Never does.
It was a mess. So yeah, let her live. But the one thing is, if I model myself after somebody, you even hear me say all the time here, I let y'all know what channels I watch, have watched, and still watch when I get an opportunity, and tell you that a lot of stuff they said, model my channel after it. Why would you reinvent the wheel if somebody already perfected it. I don't have to wait till I get into a bump in the road where nobody has figured out that bump, and then I got to sit there and figure it out for myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going, if you come to me, I'm not going to act like, oh, I bring this up from scratch. Child, I listen to this one, and this where I got this from. You can go listen to, or you can take my word for it, write the notes out, and do what you got to do. That would be like saying nobody else should make a YouTube channel. So yes, there are others that have paved the way and that have done it. But because she's on this show with her, and it seems like if Melanie said I'm gonna make a bubblegum machine, the next thing Tisa's doing is some bubblegum machine. That's all we're saying. But yeah, she can live, but your husband's up there just being so disrespectful. When the show started, and that tells you how easy tables can turn. When the show started, it was Mel and Marcel. Now they was a little messy. I ain't gonna negate that fact. It was Mel and Marcel that had the upper hand. And the Scotts now kind of turned the tables a little bit on terms of they're still together and what the show looks like. But they have modeled a lot of their stuff off of Melody. Okay, I'm gonna let it go, Michelle. We just gonna agree to disagree. That's it. Who am I at?
You're at me.
My thing spun again. Robin, did I come to you?
You're at me.
Nope.
You're at me.
You said the Don and then me.
Okay, so go ahead, Don, because my screen spun around again real quick.
Listen.
Yes.
I give Melody her props all the time, but this lady is delusional, and she's a Decepticon.
My God.
She sat here and worked her magic, and everybody who's talked did not catch it. She said these people have planted a GoFundMe for $100,000 and only made $220 some odd dollars. Let me show you. Oh no, I can't bring it up because I blocked them and they have me blocked. So how do you know, Melody, if you block them and they have you blocked? Let me guess. It's on one of your other pages that you go to and creep up on everybody's pages and see what you're doing, see what they're doing. You don't have me fooled. You got everybody else fooled. You talking about you can't see their pages now, but you creeping up on everybody else's pages when the cameras ain't there and you ain't everybody ain't looking. You a Decepticon. You ain't got me fooled. You don't want to show the cameras that you got these spy pages looking to see what everybody else is doing. Ain't nobody catch that. Oh, I can't show you now because they got me blocked. Lady, come on now. All of a sudden, press that bottom button and pull up your other page.
Maybe she saw it on the Shade Room.
No, she didn't see it on the Shade Room. She saw it because she got other pages. Probably the pages that's in here now, putting all these other comments when somebody disagree with her.
You better talk.
Is she catfishing, Dawn?
She catfishing all the time. Her and the other millimeters.
It's probably in the daughter's name, her kid's name.
Right. Come on. This has to stop. Y'all got to read between the lines. She said it on national TV, trying to have people fooled. She don't have me fooled. I have dealt with this.
Okay.
Well,
you know, and don't call somebody to a meeting if you ain't ready to deal with what they're carrying, what they're bringing. What did you expect? Did you expect this man to come and be soft on you, lady? Or did you expect him to come with the same shenanigans and BS that he has come with since you've known him? What did you expect? You came with the BS, so you know he was going to come with the BS. Be for real. You had no intentions on being polite, Mel. So why did you expect Marsau to be polite? The minute he sat down, you were rude. So he was rude. Both of y'all were rude. Two gaslighters sitting at the table with each other.
Oh
when he
God.
said, I did not, oh, are you crying? I hollered. Because both of y'all, they need to be married. Because they are the same person. Both of them. They are the same person. One and the same. Both of them are rude as hell. They both treat people like crap. Marsau is not the female version, but Marsau is male and male is Marsau. They both treat everybody the same. They gaslight everybody. They talk like crap about people to their face and behind their back. They belittle everybody. What did she expect? What did he expect? You invited Marsau to a lunch. Did she thought she was going to get Maurice? No, you got Marsau. So next time, don't invite him. You wanted the scene, so you got the scene.
Oh my! Woo! Good God. Whoa, whoa,
Well, you
whoa.
better preach the done.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Who's next? Who's next?
Hashtag
I am.
Go ahead, Robin.
Okay.
Whoa.
You know what? I'm gonna take the temperature down a bit because
Okay.
I don't tend to be as fiery as the Don.
Uh-huh.
So let's start with Keke. I do want to say that I appreciated the scene between her and her husband because I think it put on a full display how a person who is working through substance use issues, how they present themselves, and a loved one who is there supporting them and being supportive and honest at the same time. He was very even keeled, and I really appreciated that. I like that he listened to her, and he didn't let her get away with, which we often do when people have these issues. He didn't like bring her to the fountain and make her drink it, but he let her know the fountain was there. So I like that about him. Now, earlier we were talking about filming and where they filmed. If you remember, when Tiffany was when you interviewed Tiffany, she said they had great problems just getting approval for different places to film.
That's true.
So as I was thinking about that, and I put it in the chat, I wonder if Marsau is smart enough to have charged production to film it at Black. I bet you $6 he didn't, because he's not that good of a businessman. He just want to be on the TV. Now, speaking of being a business person, a couple years ago, I took note of the fact that most especially when people become reality television performers, they use this platform to parlay and start businesses. Now, way before it was the reality show, it was the black ladies on the TVs, like the Star Joneses and them such people. Everybody had a wig line. Vivica Fox, all the actresses had the wig line. And it seems that it's kind of formulaic. If you actually sat down and mapped out the different people on reality television, just that, even though it extends across genres, they all seem to start businesses, and they're all the same categories. So that's nothing new. But I will say, in that same vein, today is Aunt Robin dumps on Marsau tonight. Because what I really don't like, among the things I dislike about how he behaves is, again, like we said last time, you don't always have to be kissing the feet of the person who helped you out. But brother, you was working the movie theater. Y'all was destitute, doggone broke, and Martell and Melody put you on to now where you own a company that they brought you into and you brought them out of. That's one thing. The second thing is that as much as Marsau wants to present himself as being sarcastic, sardonic, or whatever he was, one thing that I also noted is, again, in that same space, a lot of people come up with, they do a lot of similar businesses. Yes, Stormy's the one that had the most legitimate hair care line, and that she developed it herself and went to production, had it off and on the ground. What I see Marsau doing, which I think is very specific, is that and I'm saying like this, my theory is the Holtz dug them out of their hole. That would be the Scots. And ever since then, they've been riding the coattail of the Holtz, led by Melody. So you know what? Melody turned all these things into her t-shirt business. He sells t-shirts. Melody has the hair care line with her babies and the skin line, and they're doing the same thing. I think that for Marsau, he doesn't just mimic people. He's close enough to see what Melody is doing, peeps how she does what she does, and mimics her behaviors to garner his version of success. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a quick.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah.
So he tries. I think that he's trying to throw people off the scent and not, but let people realize, like some of us do, that you ain't doing nothing but following behind her. It's like being in class, taking a test, and copying off of somebody's paper.
Dustin, you're up.
Hi, Dustin.
How you doing?
Hey.
How you doing, David?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I just want to keep it nice and short tonight because I was trying to get in earlier and I couldn't get. I think I was in here and I couldn't hear anything, so I had to. And I just want to say that Martell this needs to be Martell's final season, and even better, the show needs to. I think this needs to be Martell's final season, or they need to really redo the show.
Yeah. Yeah. You funny, E.
How do you feel about that, David? I just want your opinion on it real quick.
No, you know what? I think here's the thing. I think shows are better, and I think Potomac is kind of proving this. You need some staples. You need some people that are still have their foot way deep in the ground to make the show work. And I think a lot of what's going good for Potomac is you got Robin, you got Giselle, you got the Grand Dame. Now you might as well go ahead and count Candace.
Ashley.
Got Ashley, thank you, Ashley, that got some foot in the ground, right? It's when you bring a whole bunch of new people together, is giving us what? Now, I just didn't cover it because I didn't really want to, the Real Housewives of New York. And I thought,
I covered that earlier with a Juice Radio and Talk Show. So
yeah. Go ahead, I'm sorry. Yeah, so y'all could go over there to Juice to cover the Real Housewives in New York. But let me tell you something. Honestly, I thought they revamped the whole thing. And I'm like, right? So I'm not getting nothing new. I'm still not really getting lifestyles of the rich and famous. I'm not getting nothing. I'm not getting no umph. And you getting a bunch again grown people that are acting like they in high school, grabbing the glasses off the face. You supposed to be my friend. You pissed that I took your phone, but then you threw me in the pool. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I just think that.
Oh, my husband, this. Come on.
I just think that reality TV is just getting to a point where it ain't gonna be able to recover, and it's only gonna get worse.
Yeah.
Bring back the mama.
We have some other people in the building. Who did not speak yet on this? Shan?
I spoke already, but
you did. Okay, don't thank you.
Kiki, I just want to say one thing, Diva.
Yes.
One thing. I'm gonna mess with you. Did you say the Grand Dame Candace? Is that what you said?
No. Oh no, I forgot that. No, I did
Don't
not.
go there.
Don't go there. I did not. No, I did not. I did not.
I'm gonna push that. You know.
Who did not speak on these last 3 scenes yet? Everybody spoke. Beautiful. We're doing well.
Yeah, we weren't long-winded tonight.
Well, amen. Yeah. So we'll close out. I mean, I'm hanging in there with Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I'm fine so far. It's not a whole bunch of shenanigans. I mean, I could get with it. I think, some scenes could be better. And I do think they're just throwing in some people just so they can get some airtime, because that scene with Kimmi and Maurice, we could have definitely did without. I get wanting to film at your business is smart, right? Because the previous week I never knew Mel had the daycare. I didn't remember hearing it. So now that I know she has the daycare, that's nice. Hold on one second. Sean, thank you so much for the super chat. Every reality star engages in e-commerce. Mel did not invent the wheel. I like the new Real Housewives of New York. I get tired of same cast with same storylines. Huntsville has jumped the shark. What do you mean by that? But thank you so much for the super chat. I truly appreciate you. Let me see. Jonathan, it's not about being original. It's about capitalizing off the platform. All of them should be doing that. Marsau has 7 million in lawsuits right now with his businesses. Yeah, and I do. Now, here's the thing. I do think they all should capitalize, right? And as Robin stated, do they all do similar things? They either get a hair care line, some type of clothing line, so forth and so on. I don't disagree with that at all. And I do think they all should capitalize. But to me, and I can't say for sure this is how she feels, right? But to me, I felt like when Melanie was starting the skincare line or whatever the case may be, don't know if that's still going on, but she had some feeling in it. Because at first she named this 7th Avenue because she talked about growing up on 7th Avenue, something to that degree, right? But if you're going to get into business and then you want to tell people to their face that you don't even care about it, you just want our money, you're a fool. You're not a good business person. I want to say the CEO of Neiman Marcus did that. Said he don't want poor people shopping in the store. Well, the poor people stopped shopping there. Now Neiman Marcus is trying to be sold over the Saks. So the last thing you're going to do as a business person, unless you're just a straight fool, is insult the very people that keep you in the business. I would never get up here. Oh, I don't like y'all. Y'all can go wherever and do whatever. Excuse me? Who does that? So you sat on TV and do you not think selling food to people at Black Lounge, what's really the difference? What was he really saying? He made absolutely no sense. And it could be possible as to why he got $7 million in lawsuits sitting out there. It's the shenanigans. So they can take an idea, but they don't know the blueprint behind the idea because you're busy just trying to mimic and you're not getting all the details and information that you need.
And
go ahead. What was you going to say?
Oh, I'm sorry. And the difference is okay, so we're not saying it's an issue copying because it's like nothing's really new, right?
Right, absolutely.
You can't insult people you're inspired by. Like, I would never insult somebody who inspires me or try to insult their business, right? That's the point.
Love that.
We can all follow
with
each
the
other,
best word, Shan.
And people like Mel, so people gotta like you a little bit to support your business. I know that.
Yeah.
But what people in the comments are saying is that if they're not legitimate businesses, allegedly, then you got to scam, you got to scam, you got to scam, you got to scam. That nothing is good about it. If these things were so great, then it would have caught on already. You can't. I just went to the Mila, whatever Marsau's kids' website is, and it says start a chat. I said I like to inquire about bulk ordering. I'm still waiting for a response. So there's nobody on their chat, manning their chat, and it doesn't say we have business hours for such and such. This is a hologram of a website. What did the Don just say? Decepticon. I gotta go to Mel's website, see if she got some customer service people over there, because this is just absurd.
Right. Well, see, when he tells you straight up front that he has really no interest in it, he's just trying to make money, that tells you a whole lot right there in and of itself, right?
Yeah, that was just for the show. You know that business Marsau had that wasn't no real hair care line.
You're right.
He a fraud.
That's right.
He's definitely a fraud, but you stuck your foot inside your mouth.
And they said he was putting labels on other people's product. That's what they was doing with
That's
those
what
kids
everybody's
hair care
saying. I
products.
don't know. Do we have proof of that?
Well, let me
That's a
just say
stretch.
allegedly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know because I mean, Stormy gonna give away her
Ooh.
secret formula to them for
Well,
what?
no, the they thing is that she's taking the products from Stormy's bottle and putting it in her bottle. Now, I would pay money for somebody to get one and test it. I pay money to find that out.
Oh, so well, that's bad business right there too. It doesn't make sense, right? You're gonna buy somebody else's product to pour it in your bottles, and then what? You got to be charging way more than you paid for Stormy's product. I don't know if that's I don't really like to repeat. You know how I do.
I know,
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah,
There's an
yeah,
you
they're
know
not
article.
doing
If
that.
there's an
we got.
article, I'll talk about it. But if it's all this far-fetched stuff, I don't really like to go down that road
We
because
know
I
you
don't
like
know.
the facts, Diva.
I don't know that to be true. And it doesn't make logical sense. I can't see them being that stupid. I say they are and they're not, but that would just be real stupid. I'm
Well,
gonna buy.
I'm still waiting for She by Sheree chat people to message me too. Diva, I got to get back to you. We got to do a deep dive.
We got to do a deep dive. But my thing is have some passion about the business that you are doing and that you're getting into. And see, the thing is, no, Tisha changed her branding labels. That's not true. Yeah, that's why I'm not really repeating that accomplished. If you notice, I didn't really go down that road. That doesn't even sound logical to me. And I think nobody could be that darn stupid. Because if you buy somebody else's product and it's $10, what you got to be charging at least 15 or something for yours. And when you got so much competition out there, and you're just a star name versus some other type of name, you want people to buy into you and your whole situation, not just buy into it because you on the TV right now. And that's where Stormy got this thing on lockdown. And if I was even on the TV and I wanted to get into the hair care business, I would have had some long meetings with Stormy first. I think sometimes, and he talking about throw it to the wall and see if it'll stick. He got the nerve because I feel like that's what they doing. They just overnight, I'm gonna come up with this. Did you think about these products and what would be good for the kids here? What's out there? What you can mix and all of that stuff? They showed on last season, D, but they did it. We saw it. I saw it. You saw them literally pour out of Stormy's bottle into their bottle.
That's a reach. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, that's fine. Anywho, it makes no sense if that's what they're doing. The girls were sitting at the table putting labels on it. When I get the episode, I will DM you. Okay, perfect. You do that. Thank you. I appreciate it. So anyway, good episode. Doing better so far this year on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Waiting for Potomac to start because it seems like they're going to give us what a show. This whole Mia and Gordon separation, not shot. To all the men out there, and you know for a fact that the lady got with you for just your money. When your money's gone and they leave, don't be woe is me. That's all I can say. Last words, anybody, before I close out?
Yeah, I want to say something to Diva.
Yes.
Bring back all the mothers. Mel's mom, Wanda, all of them. I want all the mothers to come back on the show because we need the wisdom.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And you know what? We're doing reality TV. This is reality. That's her mother's reality. And you know what? She need the backbone of Miss Wanda, because I tell you what, they wouldn't have been all in Tisa's face if Miss Wanda was at that sip and see.
Oh, hell no.
No, it wouldn't have went down like that. It wouldn't have went down. We would have had a whole nother show. Matter of fact,
Miss Wanda would have showed out.
Oh, wouldn't she? Matter of fact, I don't know if Miss Nell would have had all the guts that she had if Miss Wanda was at that sip and see.
Oh, it'd have been one-on-one between those two.
Yeah. I don't know if Miss Nell would have had Miss Nell got a lot of courage right now because there's nobody on there that's really going to go toe to toe with her like that.
And see, then Miss Wanda's brother would have came with the chopper, so I know Miss Nell wouldn't have had no beef. And then secondly, did you catch when Mel said to Nell, is Tisha the type of person you would even want to be friends with? I feel like they're trying to ostracize
That was a
Tisha
jab.
off the show. And I feel like the start of it was getting Wanda off. Marsau and Tisha should have never agreed to that. Either my mom stays or we all go.
Good point.
I feel you. I feel you. And you're right, that was low. There was, you know what? There was a lot of low jabs in this particular episode. It was like it went under the cover a little bit. If you missed it, you didn't catch it. But yeah, that was low. But I think I was so stuck on the fact that they was telling about this business being a fraud, because that's pretty much what they did. They said the business was a fraud. 85%, but you don't know. That's absolutely true, because Tisha is just a housewife.
Well, hold on, Diva. One last thing.
Yes.
We can say a lot of things about Phaedra and Apollo, even though I believe allegedly that Phaedra was involved. Apollo took the weight for that. I'm uncertain if Marsau would take the complete weight for this whole business thing, especially with Tisha's name being 85%. That's why I said, no, we can't even call him. He's just a space of nothingness. Because if it ever comes to that, and the probability is high, messing with Carlos King, because like I told you, I believe Carlos would turn him in. But I don't see Marsau saying, you know what, I'll do 10 years so that my kids and Tisha can live their best life, and I'll be the leader. I'll take the fall for this. I don't see it.
Oh no, I don't see it either. And you know what, E, I'm connecting with you on that. I really do feel Apollo took the hit. So give it up for him being a man like that. I really do feel he took the hit. Because let me tell you this. How do you live with somebody, and you know, even if you don't know your spouse's salary down to the penny, you got a roundabout idea. You got a roundabout idea. And
especially when they're spending $10,000 at the strip club every night. And what Mama Joy say, you know, he don't have no office where you can't call his phone.
And that's just facts. That's just facts. And then you know what your husband came out of prison for, what he was doing. The first thing I see too much cash, I'm be like, what you out in them streets doing?
Wait a minute, where does money coming from?
That part. We got two boys here. We gotta live a different life now. But I think, you know, nobody can force you to do anything. But I think she pushed the envelope, because he did tell her, he was like, I can't afford half this mortgage. I don't know if y'all remember that episode when they moved into that house, that big mansion that she bought. He was like, I don't have half this money.
I remember.
You remember?
Wait, Diva, do you think Coach Shaw knew?
Absolutely.
Ooh. Yes, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I think with her, because listen, again, Emmanuel, there's just no way you don't know that your spouse technically doesn't have that type of money that they're spending. I don't see it. How do you live with someone and they're a billionaire and you have no clue? Like it just doesn't work like that.
This is unrelated.
Huh?
But you heard of the Long Island SK? Serial K?
Which one is it? Because there's so many stories out there right now.
What I'm saying is, a lot of these true crime documentaries I watch, a lot of times, allegedly, the wife would be like, they had no clue. Like, you know, I feel like it's possible.
Oh, that one?
Gilgo Beach.
Yeah. I know what you're talking
it's like, about. I don't know what his wife is saying allegedly, right? But I'm saying, like, in general, not just that. But I feel like some wives will say, I didn't know for 20 years that my so-and-so was whatever. You know? So I feel like it's probably possible. Like me, I'm very inquisitive. I'm going to ask a lot of questions all the time. So it couldn't be me. But I feel like it's possible for people to just act oblivious and, you know?
That's that Scorpio in you, Shane.
That's what I was about to say.
Hold on, Diva. Look in the chat, Diva. Mama V posted a comment talking about the transcripts from court. They say Marsau threw what?
Another TC has another content creator has a transcript for the deposit Marsau did and threw Tisha under the bus. Whatever deposition. Deposition Marsau
Typo.
did Tisha under the bus. Oh, you know what? Well, this proves what E is saying. But he doesn't even look like that type of guy that would go down for it. He doesn't. Because I don't know, they could be playing on our face, but one of the little previews for up and coming scene, she talks about I might be pregnant, and he said you better go get a blood test because was you cheating on me? Because pretty much I had a vasectomy. How could this baby be mine if you are pregnant?
Diva, we'll talk about that later.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. All right, guys, listen, I had time and now I'm losing time because y'all got me chatting. Okay, no, you fine, Mama. Mama B, you fine because thank God for the people on the train on the platform because they helped me figure it out. You're fine. I get it. I could picture him throwing her under the bus.
Oh
Messy bulls. That's why you know what? Ain't no husband gonna give me the sign. Nothing that I not now. Maybe
Look,
you
I'm like Shan, and in my opinion, the Scorpio in me is very investigative.
Yeah.
You better say that again. Well, no, all she got to say is Marsau forged my signature. I never saw this, but it's too late now because she went on camera saying she owned 85%.
Don't worry, I got something to tell you backstage too.
All right, y'all. Listen, guys, thank y'all for being here. Tomorrow night is trending topics. There's so many topics to talk about. I gotta narrow it down, figure it out what we're gonna talk about tomorrow night. But listen, be here because we're gonna have over the show. We want to thank you for joining us for Love and Marriage Huntsville. And listen, wish you well. Have a good night. See y'all later.
Night,
Goodbye.
y'all.
If you didn't hit the like button coming in, hit the like button going out. Don't cheat the
Coming out.
tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.